these wheel tutorials, we'll take a look at two main things. Number one, how you can make a wheel that's going to work well on your car and give you a nice fast speed, but also one that looks nice, because that is part of the judging rubric for your car. You get some more points for having things like nice rims, more dimension, and kind of realistic looks. So we'll work on a few things that should help us do that. One thing you can do to help improve your speed and reduce the friction of your wheels is to print your wheel with a center hub that extends slightly above the rest of the wheel, so that the entire wheel doesn't rub on your car, just a small surface does. That will really help reduce the friction and hopefully improve the speed of your car. So you can do this just by offsetting your axle hole and pushing that up. If you're doing a more complex wheel, you may end up doing something else. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a round surface, but anything to reduce the amount of friction between your wheel and the car should really help improve your speed. Now, one note, as you're doing this, you do want to make sure that you try to keep your distances at least 1 millimeter. I'm not sure if this is 1 millimeter, but we'll see here. It's 0.8, which is pretty close. Anything less than 1 millimeter can end up being really thin and not really provide enough strength or support for the piece. So as you're working on your car, try to make sure that pieces are around at least 1 millimeter or pretty close to that. A beveled edge can also help your wheel roll a little bit better and reduce the friction between the wheel and the track. So instead of having just a straight edge on your wheel, you can add a bevel to it, which reduces the amount of the wheel that actually touches the track. So in this case, just this middle section would touch the track. So to add a beveled edge, the first thing you're going to need to do is offset the edge of your wheel. So you can grab the offset tool, grab the edge, and you're going to pull that in. Make sure you pay attention to your measurement. Let's just do 1 millimeter on the top. Then I'll do the same thing on the bottom, offset that by 1 millimeter. So we'll grab the outer edge of the wheel and offset inwards. And then you'll use the move tool to pull the outer surface down and the bottom one up. Now when you grab with the move tool, you can skew in the wrong direction. So you want to be moving along the blue axis. So as you're pulling down, you should see it say on blue axis. Again, just try to pay attention to how far you do each one. So I'll do 2 millimeters on the top, and then I'll grab this bottom edge and move it up 2 millimeters. Again, we're moving on the blue axis, so by looking in the background I can see the blue axis, and if I move the mouse along that same line, it should snap to it. So if we do 2 millimeters, we now have a beveled edge of our wheel, and so when it rolls on the track, there'll be less friction because it's just touching this one area. So that's a quick tutorial on how to add a beveled edge to your wheel.